Hello everyone, my name is Erica Othen of Crystalline Codes, and I'm here to activate and illuminate to help raise the vibration on Earth. So I thought it would be really nice to start offering daily horoscopes for the collective. These are going to be daily planetary energy reports talking about all of the celestial energy, what is going on up in the sky, and how that relates to what we are feeling and experiencing here on Earth. In these daily horoscopes, I'm going to be going over all the different starseed lineages. I'm also just going to be talking about, the planetary energy that we're experiencing, different ascension codes, and really how to navigate all of this energy for our highest and for our greatest good. So let's dive right in. So this first horoscope is going to be for Wednesday, April 1st. 2020. And the first thing that I am seeing is we've got, the sun is in Aries. Anytime the sun is in a sign, it is illuminating that consciousness. So Aries is like the almost like the inner child of the zodiac, right? Like the internal child. So it is a really different vibration from when the sun was traveling through Pisces. Aries is more fiery, it's more initiative, it's more kind of like get up and go. So it's interesting how in the collective we've been feeling a lot of more dense energy with all of this these conjunctions that have been going on in Capricorn that have kind of been keeping us like under wraps inside, stay home to stay safe, like all those vibrations. But as the sun moves through Aries, we're getting, it's like our little freedom fighter is kind of being ignited, and we almost want to like break free or break out, or at least kind of get outside and experience some like light codes, right? Because Aries is a fire sign. Now this past week, the sun has been crossing over Lilith. The sun is at 12 degrees, Lilith is at 7. So it was kind of the beginning of last week where this point started becoming illuminated in the chart. So Lilith is an asteroid, and she represents our inner wild nature, our sovereignty, right? But like channeling it in a healthy way, okay? Lilith is also the part of us that does not want to be suppressed, that wants to break free, that doesn't want to be diminished. She also really holds space for the divine feminine coming to light, like almost like shadows kind of coming to light, like this divine empowered feminine speaking her truth. So the sun has been illuminating this point, and Lilith is right near Chiron. So collectively, we really are healing the feminine energy, that like inner wild child that kind of wants to express herself. Think very Kali Ma energy, right? Like wild, sovereign, I always say like running with the wolves and howling with the moon. So it's the sun is illuminating us. We're kind of being activated in that way. It's also making a beautiful aspect to those rather dense alignments that we've been experiencing with the Capricorn energy. So with that Saturn-Pluto conjunction, and now it's going to be like Jupiter and Pluto. So I would definitely say in our own way, like move your body, dance around, like let that little inner kind of wild child break free, but in like a healthy way, okay? So that is kind of that Sun, Chiron, Lilith connection. We've got the moon moving through Cancer. Pretty much this whole day. The moon in the beginning, like very, very early hours of the day, is going over the nodes. The moon is our collective feelings, our emotional self, our instinctual, like inner self, right? And the nodes are our mission, our dharma. So when the moon moves past this point, it's kind of illuminating our collective, like dharma. There's a lot of questions right now in the collective with like, what's going on? When are we going to get through this? Where are we going? Like, there's a lot of questions about this shift and how it's all going to play out. And we're also getting all this different information coming in where it's like one day it's this and the next day it's this. So there's almost like a lot of confusion with the moon moving through this point. We're going to maybe be more clear because this is happening very, very early in the morning. Be mindful of your dreams. The moon is definitely, it's the ruler of Cancer, right? So it's home there, so it loves this. Maybe kind of tune into your dreams. I'm sure we're going to be having some kind of like sort of very imaginative dreams, but that could help you with your purpose and your path, how we navigate this ascension. The moon is also going to be crossing over Sirius. today. So Sirius is a star family. They're the star family that actually came down and helped the ancient Egyptians align all of the pyramids. So some of that like mystery school lineage, ancient Egyptian codes are being activated. The Sirius star family is kind of being activated right now as the moon moves through this portal. So many of you that are Sirius star seeds, you're going to feel this. You're going to feel kind of connected to your star family. This would be a really great time to tune in, to call in your star family, if you want to connect with them, because they're here as the moon moves through that point. The moon in Cancer is actually opposing all of this more dense energy that's going on in Capricorn. So right now we've got the planetary, like Capricorn is just stacked with planetary energy, okay? We've got Jupiter, Pluto, Pallas Athena, Chariklo, all in Capricorn. It's at the 24, 25 degrees, like that. It's a conjunction. So a conjunction in astrology is, when things are next to each other. And it's illuminating that point back in January of 2012, that Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Okay, Jupiter has now moved to this point. So Jupiter is very expansive energy. Jupiter actually is a benevolent planet, brings blessings and gifts, higher vision. It's like tuning into our inner knowing, right? Our gnosis, our wisdom. That's the energy of Jupiter. Jupiter expands. Pluto is different energy. It's actually like contracts. It's a contrasting energy. Pluto is a big player in what's been going on in the collective. It's interesting because the Tower card in Tarot keeps on coming through when I think about what we're all experiencing with this current situation. It's the Tower card. When some people see the imagery, it can be a little off-putting, but when translated in the most empowering way, I think the Tower card is actually beautiful because it cleanses and clears, and it's like it falls, right? It's like the breakdown before the breakthrough, okay? Pluto has this same vibration. It has the same energy. So right now we are literally dismantling things that are no longer serving us. We are dismantling the status quo, like hierarchies, governments, corporations are all restructuring and recalibrating because this old antiquated paradigm was really not working, right? It wasn't working for the people. It wasn't working for our greatest good. So it seems like everything's falling apart, and that is a very Plutonian vibration. It's almost like a crisis. It feels like a crisis before it actually all has to like rebirth and come together. So in order to navigate this transit in the most highest empowering way, it is allow it to fall. Let Babylon fall, right? Like whatever is no longer serving you, let it go. Release. Move your body. If you're feeling dense, like you're feeling kind of a lot of emotions, because we've got this Pluto, Jupiter opposing the moon. So emotions want to rise to the surface now. It's important, especially with the moon in Cancer. If you feel like you need to cry, let it out. Release, scream, shout, howl, right? Because the moon wants to feel. You've got to feel through it, right? In order to kind of move through it and to heal. So with this Pluto, which is very much like the Tower card, it's got to fall and break down so we can break free and we can liberate. It's like transmuting the energy. Pluto is the ultimate alchemist. We're like little phoenixes right now being activated, and we're kind of rising. And it's important to transmute this energy for the light. Pluto is about going deep into our shadow. Right now, we are collectively experiencing a purge of our shadow, right? And you can feel it in the air. It feels thick because there's a lot of fear. Pluto's also can be fear in its lower expression, right? In a less progressive expression, Pluto can be distrust and fear. And we're feeling all of this stuff come up in the collective so that it could be finally released, transmuted, and we can ascend through that. Pluto is about transcending and ascending. So all of this denser energy that we are feeling right now is coming up to the surface so we can let it go. So my advice, let it go, right? Do what you can. Move your body. Like I said, howl, scream, cry. Let your feel. It's okay to feel right now. You were super supported in like feeling it. It's okay if you're sad or angry or maybe even you're a little scared. But do what you can to kind of raise your vibration to get back in alignment. Don't suppress it. Just feel through it, move through it. Right now, our emotions are our superpowers, and it's like move through those emotions so that you can empower yourself and so you can really heal through it. Another beautiful aspect that is hitting this alignment is Pallas Athena. And so Pallas Athena is an asteroid. She represents inner wisdom. She's also like a freedom fighter. She is, she operates with integrity. She's also very strategic, okay? Pallas Athena also represents pineal gland. So as you are healing, as you are transmuting and transforming and transcending and literally rebirthing yourself, we are experiencing a collective rebirth right now. So as we are all doing this work and really healing and alchemizing towards the light, we are rebirthing and our channel is becoming crystal clear. Okay, so the more you move this energy through any kind of density, do what you can to, stay in alignment, go outside, go out into the sun, move your body, all of these different things. Trust and surrender and have faith that you're actually clearing your channel, okay? And that we're really being activated right now in our third eye, and our pineal gland is like reawakening. I'm seeing it just like break free. So that is actually that's a beautiful part of this alignment, right? We're like really getting activated with our, third eye kind of codes. Another beautiful asteroid that is on this alignment is Chariklo. So Chariklo is actually Chiron's wife, okay? So Chiron in astrology is known as the wounded healer. I love saying that Chiron is the golden healer. That is kind of my perspective with it, because it's like we all have these wounds that we are healing, that we kind of came to address. That is part of our ascension. It is part of the evolution and growth of our soul. And when we do heal these wounds that we come in with, and then we integrate them, we come back into alignment, and that's how we truly grow and ascend. Well, Chiron, the mythology of that archetype is that he was a centaur, so half man, half god. And he had this wound that every day he was like suffering from it for like 900 years. Well, Chariklo was actually his wife, and there's very little information about Chariklo, okay? But when you tune into her vibration, who was taking care of Chiron for those 900 years while he was suffering and going through, like this dark 900-year dark night of the soul? His wife was taking care of him and didn't really, get any credit for it, but it's not that she needed any credit. It is an example of how the feminine has been kind of like written out of a lot of mythology and history, but it's interesting how Chariklo is coming online now and really being illuminated. She's making a beautiful aspect to Chiron and to Pallas Athena. A little bit of a mythology is that Chariklo and Pallas Athena were actually connected. She's also very connected to Vesta. So this is really interesting. But what Chariklo represents is devotion to healing. So right now, devoting this time, creating sacred space for yourself to go within, okay, to heal, to take care of yourself, to nurture and nourish yourself, to comfort yourself, taking, sacred space to go within, to hold space for yourself, perhaps hold space for those who are around you and your family, your loved ones, your partner for healing. We are really supported in this. Characlo is the devoted healer. She also has to do with healthy boundaries. So boundaries with grace. Creating boundaries is also really supported now. But it's interesting. I'm going to talk more about Characlo's energy in future videos because she's really coming through strong right now, and I want to kind of teach about that because, like I said, there's not a lot of energy out here about her. A little bit about what's going on in that part in the sky. So Saturn last week moved into Aquarius. This is a big deal. Saturn takes about 2.5 years to go through every sign. So last week, I think it was on the 23rd, Saturn, boop, popped into the sign of Aquarius. So Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. It's very different energy when it's in Aquarius because Saturn rules time. Saturn is like boundaries and structure and operating within integrity. It's also like self-mastery and like an initiation. And Aquarius energy is the future. It is like quantum energy, quantum leaps. So when you have Saturn that rules time popping into this new age, right? Aquarius is very like new age. It rules the multidimensional realms. You've got this push and pull between like, you know, looking at time in a linear way, and then Aquarius is like, it's all, there is no linear way to look at time, right? Aquarius is like all the dimensions. It's like the absolute. So we are experiencing like quantum leaps in time. If maybe you feel like time is either really slowing down or speeding up, we've definitely entered a portal when it comes to time. So astral travel, like tapping into the different dimensional energies right now is like super supported. Mars is there too. Mars is more of like, and can be a little bit aggressive, especially when Mars and Saturn are together in the sky in Aquarius. That's why we're seeing like a lot of weird rules about what's going on with humanity. Humanity is basically like, what the heck? Where are we going? Like, it's like this unknown, right? And then we keep on getting all these different rules and regulations, and you can't do this, and you can't go there, and you can't, and there's part of humanity that we've just been like, okay, but like, how long is this okay gonna last, right? There's part of us that kind of wants to like break free and want it to be fair and want to support and connect. What is really interesting is that we have this whole new term like social distancing. Aquarius rules things like the internet, and it's connecting with the collective. So we haven't really been socially distancing because I feel like people, for the most part, are really connecting over the internet, over social media. Like, we're connecting with each other, like live streaming, doing all these things which are very Aquarian. You know, we're almost like beating the system with figuring out like how we can kind of connect and still keep it going and still interact with one another, right? Like, that's a very Saturn, Mars, and Aquarius vibration that we're kind of figuring out. We're like going around the rules and doing it in our own new innovative way. Anything internet-based is very supported with Saturn and Aquarius. You know, Saturn can be business, so having an online business, connecting virtually with people, like social media platforms, whatever, for the next, 2.5 years, it's going to be super supported. Saturn is going to retrograde. I think it's either June or July, I have to check, and then it's going to go back into Aquarius in December. But for right now, from now until, we're going to get some vibrations. We're going to get some of this feeling of it. And then Mars is kind of igniting it too. Let's see what we have going on. So we have Venus at 28 degrees Taurus. So Venus is actually right in the Pleiades right now. So Venus in astrology is our heart. Okay, it is also the divine feminine. So the divine feminine is really, Venus loves being in the sign of Taurus. So Venus, and you can look up in the sky, actually see Venus. It's like the brightest, it looks like a star, the brightest star in the sky right now. That's actually where the Pleiades is. So if you look up into the night sky and you see the brightest star, that's Venus, and you're also looking at the Pleiades. So our heart, we've got like this Stargate heart portal right to the Pleiades. The Pleiadians are really coming online now. They're helping us, they're assisting us and supporting us with opening up our heart. So tuning into some of that vibration. Pleiadian energy is super high vibe, and it's all about the mission, okay? So right now, how can we really create and manifest a new earth, a new way of being, sharing our truth, speaking our message from our heart? That is all very Pleiadian. So this beautiful Pleiadian Venus heart portal opening up, expanding in our heart. If you ever have any doubts or questions, you know, just tune into the energy of your heart. Trust that your own heart is being really expanded right now, especially as we do all of this beautiful work. So I think that is pretty much what I want to share for today. Yeah, so I'm just going to be doing these daily horoscopes, and I'm super excited about it. I'm going to be mostly releasing them on YouTube. So if this message resonates and this channel resonates, I invite you to join me on my YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Crystalline Codes. And yeah, just like, subscribe, share, whatever you feel called. And then sometimes I'm also going to be sharing them on my Instagram as well. So we will see. Actually, let's pull a card and let's just see. I bought out this deck and I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll just like pull a card at the end for the collective. So let's see what we come up with. Ooh, I love that. When two cards popped out. So we're going to use those. I love when the cards jump out because they're like, pick me, pick me. So the two cards that came for today's reading. Saturn return, okay? So this is going to be the first card for today, and then the second one is Par of Fortune. This is the Black Moon Astrology deck. So the way that I would read this, Saturn return. So Saturn return is a point of initiation, okay? Saturn has been a big player in what has been going on with the collective because it rules governments, corporations, control, time, right? It's also about self-mastery. So I would look at this as, although it seems that we are experiencing like challenges and obstacles and we're kind of dimmed, like there's almost this like sense of control coming from this hierarchical place that's kind of diminishing us and dimming us and like limiting us a little bit, and we're experiencing boundaries and challenges in our lives, sometimes even loss. Saturn can be loss. It's really a point of initiation. Okay, this is for our self-mastery, this is for our growth, this is for our greatest good. Right now it's just kind of like surrendering, going to the with the flow, operating within integrity is so important right now, because when Saturn's like the master teacher, and when you're not operating within integrity and like your own inner truth, your own inner knowing and wisdom, it's not sustainable. It's not supported. So kind of tuning into your own vibration, your own healing, tuning into what it is that you know, and trusting that this is all part of a divine plan with divine timing. And that this really is a restructuring and a rebirth of this new earth, that this is all a part of our ascension and that we're going to get through it. Even though it seems that time is kind of paused, we are all really experiencing a sacred pause right now. And it was like the world was like, we can't just keep on going on this way. It just wasn't sustainable. So trusting that this is all happening, it is all divine, it is all happening for our greatest good. Like really kind of sitting with that and taking the time for yourself to go within and do healing. Also, what is built right now at this time can really sustain, okay? So especially because too with the alignments, I mean, Venus making a beautiful aspect. Venus is our creativity too, right? So creating at this time, maybe, it's making a beautiful aspect to Saturn, to Pluto, to Jupiter. Venus and Jupiter is literally the expansion of our heart. So taking this time and space for yourself, this sacred pause to go within, to heal, to transmute, but also maybe create an offering, like trusting that this is all for our greatest good and it is for our mission, right? That we are becoming more and more in alignment with our true selves, with our highest expression and our soul mission and our dharma. This card right here, Par of Fortune, is actually a really beautiful, like, fortunate aspect. Increase. So knowing that when you're taking this sacred space and this time for yourself and investing, Saturn is about investing. So it's investing within your heart, investing within yourself, that it is going to pay back, that you can pay it forward, that even though it might seem like it's kind of starting slow, knowing and trusting that it's just going to expand and increase. This is a very like Saturn, Jupiter kind of vibration. So knowing that when you take that sacred time, that sacred pause for yourself, knowing it's all going to expand and increase. And it's, you know, it's about karma. So it's like good karma is really coming to those who have been healing and transmuting and doing the work. So keep your eye on the prize, stay in flow, stay in alignment, use your discretion for, you know, what you feel is true, because there is a lot of kind of disillusionment and confusion going on right now with Mercury and Neptune. Mercury is our mind, and Neptune just popped into 19 degrees of Pisces. So right now, like, we can definitely see behind the veil, but, you know, it's kind of trusting your own intuition when it comes to what you feel is real and right and true, you know, so kind of seeing beyond that, but knowing that within this sacred space that is all for our greatest good and it's all divinely aligned. But thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoy. If you do, please like and share, and then visit me on my YouTube, and I will be sharing more of these with you daily. Wishing you all the very, very best, sending you so much love, so much peace and blessings from my heart to yours. Thank you.